Ma'am, pwede na po ba kami mag-start po?
Yes, you may start now. Again, please be guided by the criteria or rubrics that I presented last time.
So, good day everyone. Our group will be representing an analysis of Only in Poetry, that a beautiful and reflective poem written by the Indonesian poet Aji Prosidi. And this presentation is part of our ASEAN Literatures discussion, where we explore how poetry expresses culture, values, and identity within the Southeast Asian region. So our group members are the Mesa Nash Lay and myself, Donyo Lee, and we're from EE3105. So today we will walk you through Aji Prosidi's background, the meaning of his poem, the major themes, and its connection to ASEAN cultures and values. So we hope to show how literatures, even when written many decades ago, can still speak deeply to us today. So let's start na po. Ah, so before po pala tayo mag-start sa ating presentation, may hinanda lang po kaming icebreaker for this afternoon po para medyo magganahan po tayo. So wait lang po, share ko lang po. Students that will participate on our icebreaker. Then the participant will choose only one, whether it is madali, medyo madali, and di madali. So after choosing po, the participant will choose again whether if he or she wants top or bottom po. So other students that didn't pick by the wheel of names can still by raising their hands. Then the first one that appear will be chosen po. So start na po tayo. So ang first one po natin is si Enzo Johan. Nandiyan po ba si Enzo Johan? I guess wala po si Enzo Johan. So anyone to participate na lang po for this substitute po kay Enzo. Wala pong may gusto. Si JB Paliktik daw po, sabi po ni Nash.
Ano pong gagawin?
Pipili lang po kayo dito sa tatlo kung ano pong inyong gusto, kung sa madali, medyo madali, or di madali po. Ano pong sa inyo?
Madali.
Madali. Then pili po kayo kung top or bottom po.
Top.
So ito po ang inyong tanong, may 15 seconds po kayo bago ito sagutin. Babanggitin ko po muna bago po mag-start yung timer. So buo o durog, meron itong amat. Amoy pa lang nito ay iiwan ka ng mulat. Yelohan man o initan, ito'y hahanap-hanapin dahil ito'y iyong makakaidikan. Ano ito?
Kape.
Kape po is correct po yung kape. So, daon naman po tayo sa padalawa po nating participant, si Audrey po. Pili lang po kung saan sa tatlo.
Yung medyo madali.
Medyo madali. Top or bottom po?
Yung top.
Top. Ito po ang iyong katanungan. Sa kantang Apat by Rose and Bruno Mars, ilang beses binanggit ang salitang apat sa buong kanta? Timer starts now po.
Apat. 6 or 7? 6 or 7 dun sabi ni Western.
Mali po. Ang tamang sagot po ay
Joke lang. Pwede po kayong mag-steal. Sige po, Juan Miguel.
Try ka lang, 64.
Sige ba? 64. 64 po ay mali. Mali din. Sige po, Cass.
65 po.
65, mali din po. Sige po, Joseph.
60 po.
60, mali po ang 60 din. Sige po, Boss Heron.
67.
Hindi din po 67 eh. Sige po, Cass.
63 po.
63 po ay hindi din po 63. Sige po, Lorraine.
48 po.
48 po. 48 is correct po. 48 po yung kung ilang beses po binanggit sa buong kanta. So, ang next po natin ay si Clarice po. Nandiyan po ba si Clarice? Wala po. Baka po may gusto pong mag-participate. Substitute po kay Clarice. Volunteer na lang po. Sige po, Joseph.
Ano, madali.
Madali. So, napili na po yung madali na top. So, bottom na
Hindi
lang po.
bottom.
So, ito po ang iyong tanong. Ilang taon na ang lolo ko ngayon kung nung 2020 ay 5 beses siyang mas matanda sa anak kong 10 years old? Timer starts now po, Ran.
55.
55. 55 po is correct. Sunod po natin ay si Kurt. Nandiyan po ba si Kurt? So
Madali.
tapos na po yung sa madali na top or bottom.
So, hindi madali.
Di madali. Top or bottom po?
Bottom.
Bottom. Ito po yung katanungan. Sa kantang Bahay Kubo po, ilang gulay ang nabanggit sa buong kanta?
Sampu ata, 10.
10. 10 po ay mali. Sige po, Lorraine.
12 po.
12. 12 po ay mali. Anyone po? Sige po, Eric.
18 po.
18. 18 po ay correct. 18 na gulay po ang binanggit sa buong kanta. So, ang sunod po natin ay si Marl po.
Di madali. Di madali.
Di madali. Di madali. Di madali top na lang po yung ano eh. Ito po yung katanungan. Sa 1,000 peso bill, sino-sino ang nakangiti na makikita sa bill na ito? Ulitin ko po, ang tanong po ay sa 1,000 peso bill, sino-sino ang nakangiti na makakita sa bill na ito?
Hello.
Ano po yun?
Ay, sa bago wala.
Hindi po yung bagong 1,000, hindi po yung polymer na 1,000.
Sige. Si Jose Abad Santos, Vincent Lim, Jose Lanis Escoda.
Hindi po eh. Mali po. Sige po, bench.
Si Josefa Escoda.
Si Jose Escoda lang po ang nakangiti sa 1,000 peso bill. Last one po tayo, si Tristan po. And ang hindi lang po na ano ay medyo madali na bottom. Nandiyan po ba? Si Tristan? Wala po. So, any volunteer po tayo? Raise hand na lang po ulit. Sige po, Clark. Ito po ang iyong katanungan.
Wala lang sa akin eh.
Sige,
Siguro
sige.
ano, nasa 30.
30. 30 po ay mali po. Mali po ang 30. Baka po may gusto pa pong sumagot. Sige po, si Crisel.
13 po.
13 hindi din po.
Yes po.
Baseron.
16.
16 po ay mali. Princess po.
20 na beses inulit.
Hindi po 20. Sige po, Loring.
24 po.
Hindi din po 24. Si Princess po ulit. Sige po, Joseph.
14?
Hindi po 14. Iba. 1 again.
23.
23. Hindi po. Sige po, Crisel.
12 po.
Hindi po 12. Si Cass po.
9 po.
Hindi din po 9. Any... Sige po, bench.
18.
Hindi din po 18. Sige po, Heron.
15.
Hindi din po 15. Sige po, Audrey.
32.
32 po. 32 po is correct. 32 beses po. So, tapos na po tayo sa ating icebreaker. Dako naman po tayo sa atin pong PPT. So, babasahin po muna ni Nash yung amin pong poet na entitled Only in Poetry po by Ajip Rosidi po.
Good day po everyone. Para po sa pagsisimula ng aming presentasyon, hayaan niyo po muna akong basahin ang aming Only in Poet na presentation. In the train, I read poetry, Rendra, and Mayakovsky. Yet the words I hear are yours. Above the rhyme of the wheels, I look outside. Rice fields and mountains, and a poem rises from every bead of sweat on the brow of the farmers throughout his long and lonely day. I know you know that life drifts between heaven and earth. Adam was expelled from paradise, then searched for Eve. Then the poet paid is to knock on the door after the door and never find, restlessly refusing to surrender to his situation. In the valley, I see your calm face. From the valley, your hand stretches forth. In the train, I read poetry, submission to emotion, which through the iron fingers of times determines the path of faith stretching out into the realm of dreams which I shape to no avail. I know you know, in poetry, everything is clear and definite. Para po sa next slide, I pass the floor po kay Don. Mike Pre.
Sorry po, sorry po. So, dako po tayo sa short biography ni Aji Prosidi. Was born in 31 January 1938 and passed away by July 29, 2020. Was an Indonesian poet and short story writer. As of 1983, he had published 326 works in 22 different magazines. So, yes po, siya po nga po ay pinanganak in January 31, 1938 in Jatiwangi, Majalangka, West Java. Then died in July 29, 2020 in Magelang, Central Java. So, he was an instrumental in promoting and preserving regional local literatures, especially Sundanese. So he wrote in both Indonesian and Sundanese, translated work, compiled folklore. So he helped also to establish or lead many cultural and literary institutions, publishing house, magazines, associations, and associations of writer and etc. And he lectured and taught even without full formal degree, including position abroad. Example like po sa Japan, and he was a guest professor at several universities. So si Rosidi po was not only a poet but also a short story writer din po, translator and essays. So what make Aji Prosidi remarkable in his dedication to promoting and preserving regional literatures, especially the Sundanese language and cultures. So Aji Prosidi believed that literature should not only focus on the national or international level but must also give importance to local traditions and dialects. So, yun po. Through his writing and leadership in literary institutions, so si Aji Prosidi po helped shape Indonesia's culture identity. And he was not the only artist but also a teacher and cultural advocate po. So, about the poem po, the Only in Poetry. So, pwede po pakibasa. Anyone po? Sige po, Alod.
So Only in Poetry is a meta-poem. The speaker reflects of the role of poetry in life. The poet's task, the source of poetic inspiration. It uses free verse. This allows more flexibility and expression that mirrors the thematic concerns of the poem, like reflections, spiritual or existential tension. Then the poem situates its speakers in motion and contrasts its transient and modern or speedy elements with more rooted, natural, and labor-intensive earthy images. This contrast sets up a meditation on where poetry comes from, what it captures beyond from mere formal reading, the lived experience, human struggle, and connection with nature.
Thank you po. So, paliwanag ko lang din po ulit sa the poem Only in Poetry was written in 1959. It is what we called a meta-poem. So, ang meaning po ng meta-poem ay meaning it reflects on poetry itself. It purpose, its meaning, and where inspiration truly comes from po. In this poem, the speaker seems to meditate on the role of poetry in life. It asks what makes poetry real and meaningful. It is simply written words, or does it so is it simply written words, or does it come from something deeper? So the poem uses free verses po, which means it does not follow a mixed rhythm or meter. This gives the post freedom to express emotion naturally and reflectively. Just like human thoughts po that flows freely po. So si Rosidi contracts that the modern world fast and restless movement with natural and traditional image like farmers, earth, and rhythm of life. This contrast makes the reader reflects on the importance of slowing down and appreciating life because poetry, he suggests, come from the human experience, not from book or fame. So, ang main idea po, baka po may gustong magbasa, volunteer na lang din po ulit. Sige po, Caleb.
So the main idea, the poem reflects on the role of poetry in human life. It shows that number one, true inspiration for poetry does not only come from reading other poets, but also from life itself. The sweat of farmers, the rhythm of nature, struggles of ordinary people. And the second one is human existence is full of restlessness, longing, and uncertainty and images of wandering or Adam's exile searching for Eve's knocking on doors without rest. Then the third one is despite life's confusion, poetry offers clarity. It becomes the place where feelings, thoughts, and dreams and struggles can be expressed and made meaningful. Then the last one is the poet's task is difficult and sometimes feels futile, but poetry is where truth and beauty becomes visible.
So, thank you po. Ajip, Ajip Rosidi also shows that the human life is full of restlessness and uncertainty. We are often searching for meaning, longing for something more, or feeling incomplete. This expressed through image like Adam exiled from paradise and the search for Eve. So the poem tells us also that poetry is not only an art, but it is also a reflection of life and the way of humans to find peace and understanding. So next slide po tayo. Ang next slide po natin is key themes po. Baka po may gustong magbasa ng key themes. Sige po, Clark.
The source of poetry, life versus books. The poem shows that true poetry does not come only from reading other poets, but from real life. The sweat of farmers, the rhythm of the train, the beauty and struggle of nature. This theme stresses that lived experience is the deepest inspiration for poetry. Restlessness of human existence. The speaker compares life to Adam's exile from paradise and the search for Eve. These images suggest human beings are always longing, incomplete, and restless. This theme highlights the existential condition of people caught between heaven and earth.
Thank you po. So, yes po, doon po tayo sa the first key themes is Aji Prosidi teaches that real poetry is born from real life, not just from reading or studying other poets po. Then, for example na lang po natin dyan is the poem mentions that farmers and rhythm of their works. This shows that everyday life and labor are sources of creativity. The poet must be observed the world around him and turn it into an art po. So the second theme po natin is the restlessness of human existence. So the speaker, dito naman po ay the speaker compares life to Adam exiles and the endless search for Eve. Symboling nga daw po ng longing, incompleteness, and the human desire belong to somewhere. So through these themes po, Rosidi encouraged readers to see poetry as part of life journey, then the way to capture emotion and structure by all shapes po. So the next slides po natin sorry po, cultural and historical significance. Ipapasa ko naman po ito kay Nash.
Para po sa cultural and significance, reflects ASEAN traditions through imaginary of rice fields, farmers, and communal life, embodies values perseverance, humility, and harmony with nature, links personal emotion with collective identity, shares struggles, dreams, and faith. connects Indonesian literary voice to wider ASEAN's cultural heritage of poetry as a means of storytelling and wisdom. Makikita po natin dito na ang only poetry po ay konektado sa ASEAN culture na at ipinapakita po ng tula ang tradisyon tulad ng rice field, farmers, and communal life. And it also shows po the values like perseverance, humility, and harmony with the nature na karaniwan pong katangian ng mga Southeast Asian. At pinag-uugnay po ng poem ang personal emotion and shared identity ng mga tao kaya ito rin po ay bahagi ng ASEAN storytelling and wisdom. Next slide po. Next slide po is critical analysis. The poem highlights the struggles and resilience of ordinary people symbolized by farmers. Poetry serves as a bridge between personal feelings and broader social realities. Ajip Rosidi portrays the poet's roles as a seek of truth and clarity amidst uncertainty. Sa bahaging ito naman po ay pinapakita kung paano inilalarawan ng tula ang mga pagsisikap at katatagan po ng mga karaniwang tao na sinisimbolo ng mga magsasaka. Makikita rin natin na ang tula po ay nagsisilbing tulay sa pagitan ng personal na damdamin at mas malawak na realidad po sa lipunan. At pinakita po ni Ajip Rosidi na ang Makata ay may mahalagang papel dahil siya ay tagapaghanap ng katotohanan at kaliwanagan sa gitna ng kaguluhan at kawalang katiyakan po sa buhay. Next slide po. Reflection and connection to ASEAN. Why is this still relevant today? The poem reflects shared ASEAN tradition through images and rice field farmers and communal life. It highlights the values perseverance, humility, and with the nature core aspect of Southeast Asia. It's still relevant today because it mirrors modern struggles of identity, resilience, and the search for meaning in a rapidly changing world. Para po sa akin, nananatiling mahalaga po ang at makabuluhan ang tulang ito sa panahon po ngayon dahil po ipinapakita dito ang tradisyon ng ASEAN tulad ng mga magsasaka po na komunidad at sa pagtutulungan po at pagbabayanihan ng mga tao. Ipinapaalala rin po ng tula na ang kalagahan po ng pagkakaisa at kasipagan at simpleng buhay ay patuloy na nagbibigay ng halaga sa atin sa kultura at sa pagkakakilanlan bilang mamamayan sa Southeast Asia po. Next slide po. For the conclusion po, Ajip Rosidi, only in poetry shows the poetry is more than words on a page. It is born from real life, human struggles, and the longing of existence. While people often live in restlessness and uncertainty, poetry provides a space where truth and clarity can be found. Through images and symbolize, the poem reminds us that poetry is both a reflection of life and refuge for human soul. Thank you po.
So, dun po natatapos ang amin pong presentation po in Only in Poetry by Ajip Rosidi po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lee, as well as Mr. De Mesa. So again, kindly give them also virtual clap or heart reactions here.
Ma'am, sino po nagbasa po, ma'am?
Parang si Nash, yung content mismo ng poem. Sige, move pa. Parang slide 3 or 2. Yan. Thank you. So, we are just going to have some analysis or brief analysis for this one. So, I am going to ask some questions just like what we did in the previous literary quiz that we discussed. So thank you sa dalawang nag-present. So this time, eyes on the screen, and let's see whether you listen to the presenters. So as you can see here in the second line, in the first stanza, so we have here names. Or sabi dito, I read poetry. We have Rendra and then Miakovsky. Okay? Ano, kulang to. Maya dapat yon. Okay, Mayakovsky. So, in this one, para mas ma-analyze natin yung given poem or poem, so why does the poet mention reading Rendra and Mayakovsky? Bakit kaya na-mention ito in the second line? So, even Mr. Lee and Mr. Nash, you may also answer. So, anyone from the class, why do you think he mentioned or the writer mentioned this? Yes! Sige, Mr. Garcia.
Ma'am, ano lang po, idea lang po. Since naging curious din po ako nung nabasa ko po yan. When I research po, si Rendra po is one of the most prominent poets po sa Indonesia. Then while Mayakovsky naman po is one of the leading or was a leading figure of Russian futurism po.
Okay, so prominent writers sila. So thank you for that. So it is good na upon reading this and then because of your curiosity, so you got a time to research kung anong meron sa na-mention na ito in the second line. So what else? So, di ba, before I'll give them the virtual floor, so I ask you a question, whether when you are traveling or sakay nga kayo sa jeep or tricycle, meron ba kayo biglang mga sudden thoughts? Right? So, ano kaya yung meron dito? So, in the train, I read poetry. So, Rendra and then Mayakovsky. Yet the word I hear are yours. So, in simple words, ano kayang sinasabi lang dito? Aside from they are prominent writers or authors. How are you going to, give interpretation in this slide or in this part? Yes. Sige, Mr. Garcia.
Ma'am, for me po, based po dun sa story, parang yung nasa voice po ay, yung mga, wait lang po, yung yet the word I hear are yours, parang may nagsasalita po sa kanyang isip po. Parang
Okay.
the voices are in his head.
Okay, may nagsasalita or meron, yes, nasa may head niya yung mga voices na yon. So, meaning to say, again, na-mention dito yung Rendra and then Mayakovsky, which is, sabi nga ni Mr. Garcia, they are prominent writer or author. So, in this one, bakit biglang na-exist? Bakit biglang pumasok itong dalawang to? So, in order to show that even though he reads, okay, nagbabasa siya ng poetry, so biglang pumapasok nga yung mga voices or yung ideas, okay, nagde-drift yung kanyang ideas to someone, okay, so merong mga voices na mas malakas pa sa mind niya. So, di ba, even though, for example, when we are listening during the discussion, so sometimes yung mind natin, wala talaga sa lesson. Meron tayong ibang thoughts na iniisip. Same goes when we are reading. Same goes also when we are traveling. So, sometimes dun mas nagwa-wonder, dun mas pumapasok yung iba't ibang thoughts na meron tayo. Okay, so next is my question. Let's see or let's have, nasan yung my farmer sweat, nasan yung in what slide or in what stanza? So we have, in what stanza, the farmer sweat. Okay, so sabi dito, yes. So rice fields and mountains and a poem rises from every bead of sweat. So on the brow of the farmer. So since na-mention dito yung farmer sweat, okay, yung pawis. So what do you think, ano kayong nire-represent nun in real life? Yes, Mr. Julius.
Effort po.
The effort. Can you expound? Paanong effort? Tama ba narinig ko? Effort? Tama ba? Yes, Mr.
Yes po, ma'am.
Julius. Okay, can you elaborate?
Ma'am, para sa akin po yung sweat po ay nagre-represent for, yun nga po, yung, tawag dito, effort po. Gawa ng, alam naman po natin na mahirap po yung gawaing sa rice field po. Hindi lang naman po tungkol lang po sa pagtatanim. May mga sakripisyo din po silang ginagawa sa pagtatanim po. Yun po.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Julius. So the sacrifice, their effort, so sabi nga, sweat. So in that way, so this represents real life. Okay, again, this represents real life, most especially the hard work that we have. So even though you are not a farmer, so even you as a student, di ba meron tayong iba't ibang hard work na ginagawa in a certain thing or sa mga goals na meron tayo. Again, farmer sweat here represent hard work, okay, every struggles that people go through or yung mga nararanasan natin as an individual. So how about in the third stanza? So here we have in the second line of the third stanza, we have the life drift between heaven and earth. So why do you think the poet or the writer compare life to drifting or between heaven and earth? How about that? Mr. Lee and Mr. Nash, you may also answer. So why does the poet compare life to drifting between heaven and earth?
Ma'am, hello po. So, this expresses po the human condition po that we live in two worlds po, which is the spiritual, heaven po yun, and the physical po natin ay yun sa earth po. Then, based po sa pagkakaintindi ko po, sa pagkakasabi po dito ay parang ang humans po are never fully satisfied po. Then, life feel uncertain po, and uncertain, unstable, and full of searching and wondering po.
Okay, so yes. Yes, do you want to add?
Wala na po.
Okay, so yes, good point. So you mentioned that meron tayong unstable, so life is uncertain, which is of course true. And na-mention nga din dito between heaven and earth. So just like again what na-experience sa atin or na-experience ni na Adam and Eve. Okay, after nilang of course manirahan sa paradise. So meaning to say here, we as humans, we are also searching for meaning in life. So sabi ko nga kanina, meron tayong mga muni-muni moments na papaisip tayo sa life na meron tayo, most especially in solitude. Okay? Sa katahimikan. Whether hindi naman natin na-experience yung sadness. So kapag sinabi natin solitude, so you are alone but still you did not feel alone. Okay? You are alone but you did not feel alone because you have yourself. So again, we humans are searching for meaning. So how about in asan pa yung isa kong gustong i-highlight? So in the fourth stanza, so the first line here. So we have the poet's faith rather. So what do you think is that? Ano kayang ibig sabihin naman nun? What is the fate of a poet according to this poem? So first line in sa pang-apat na stanza. What is the fate of a poet according to the poem? Anyone? If none, I am going to call names here. Okay, let's have you, Mr. Montalvo. Okay, Mr. Montalvo. So we have here the poet's fate. Which is, I think, we already mentioned in the first question, we as human, anong meron kaya? Mr. Montalvo. Aha, I think Mr. Montalvo is not here. Okay, so sige, let's have first Mr. Lee before si Mr. Garcia. At parang sila lang din yung aking nakakausap.
Hello po ulit. So, dun po sa The Poet's Fate po, for me po ay inintroduce po nung line na yun that a poet has a destiny po. That for me po, a life path is often difficult po. Then, tapos po dyan po sa poet na is not a simply choice, it is calling a responsibility and sometimes a burden po. So para for me po, ang sinabi po dyan ni Rosidi ay a poet is destined to live restless and searching for life po. Yun lang po.
Okay, destined to search for life, or we keep on searching for the meaning of life, which is of course that is what we are doing. So just like you, sabi ko nga as a student, so sometimes nangunguna yung mga doubts, nangunguna yung mga worries na meron tayo, but still we keep on showing up, or we keep on moving forward because we have goal or we have aim in life. So do you want to add si Mr. Briones nga ba yung nahabol ng eyes ko? Mr. Briones, you're raising your hand.
Opo.
Yes, Mr. Briones.
Para sa akin po, ma'am, yung Poet's Fate naman po. Yung tungkol po sa buhay ng tao na kahit po na meron kang pinagdadaanan and parang napakahalaga rin po ng buhay ng tao. Kasi po yung hope po, parang gisimbolo po siya sa ating pangarap na kahit yung simpleng tao lang po, kaya pong gawing masaya yung buhay niya kahit sa simpleng gawain lang po.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, yes, I agree also with what you said. So thank you for your insight, Mr. Briones. So I think medyo na-highlight na natin some of the essential part in this poem. So what do you think this time is the message of this poem? So hindi lang naman siya nag-focus, okay? So highlight din dito yung importance or relevance when it comes to writing poem. So how about that or art? So upon listening to Mr. Lee and si Mr. Nash, so what lesson did you get from them? Let's have you, sige. Let's call some names here. Mr. Dote. Rewel. Yes, Mr. Dote. Parang yung mga tinatawag ko is not here. So upon listening to them, what lesson or what do you think is the message of this poem? Mr. Dote. Okay, how about you, Miss Lorraine? Miss Lorraine, how about you? Are you with us? Can you hear my voice? Am I audible? Okay, so parang sila lang ata yung mga names lang din na nag-click dito. Sila lang din naman nga yung nag-a-answer pa kanina sa aking mga questions. So I don't know if yung iba ay na or kung ano na ang ginagawa at this moment. And while Mr. Lee and Mr. Nash is presenting, that only 19 students who are here kanina at 5:31. Sige, since they are not answering, so can someone answer my question? So it is a general based again on what you understand under presentation. So if none, wala kayong nakuhang lesson or any ideas kay Mr. Nash as well as Mr. Lee. Even though si Mr. Lee, he is answering to my question. So yes, Miss Cassandra.
Ano po, yung sa pagkakaunawa ko po is yung pinaparating po ng poem is kung paano po mas nagiging makabuluhan po yung mga ordinaryong bagay kapag po tinitingnan natin sila sa pamamagitan po ng poetry. Kumbaga po, ano po, kung sa tula po, nagiging malinaw po kung ano ang nararamdaman o nangyayari po sa paligid.
Okay, so yes, exactly. So dito na pumapasok yung idea or relevance when it comes to writing poem, okay, or expressing your emotions, your ideas, again, in writing poem. So, meaning to say, in this literary piece, only in poetry, kaya yun yung naging title din niya. Again, this only highlights that life is confusing. Okay? Life is confusing, but with the help of poetry, we will be able to understand ourselves. So, yun yung pinaka-main message ng literary piece na ito. So, aside from a while ago, we mentioned that we as an individual or humans, we keep on searching for the meaning of life. We keep on searching for the purpose. So sabi ko nga, we keep on showing up even though it is hard. But still, sabi, kagaya ng sinagot sa atin, so through the help of writing, we will be able to express ourselves. And through the help of poetry also, this gives us clarity. That is why, sabi dito sa second line, I read poetry and then pumapasok sa kanya or may mga voices kagaya nung na-mention na si Rendra at saka si Maya Kovsky. Okay? Again, this highlight the importance of writing and expressing ourselves through poem. Okay? So this time, I think we can now move on to the next pair. So they are going to discuss The Bird. So another poem. So may I see the names of those students who will present this. Thank you for sharing, Mr. Lee as well as Mr. De Mesa. So who will present?
Hello po, naririnig po.
Yes, audible.
So, good evening po. We're Group 13 and I am Audrey Cantos.
And I am Kian Limueco po.
And
Okay. Yes, Miss Cantos, may I interrupt you? So I think medyo malakas lang din parang yung sa electric fan. So, but we can hear you. Meron lang some sound.
hello po, okay na po.
May sound pa din, pero hindi ko sure kung electric fan nga ba yun. Yes, parang nawalan na ata ngayon.
Sige po.
Parang nawalan. May pakunti-kunti pala. Okay, you may continue, Miss Cantos.
We're here to discuss po one of the literary piece po of Indonesia, The Birth of a Poem by Subagyos Hastrowardoyo. And bago po tayo mag-start sa discussion, meron po kami inihandang icebreaker and si Kian po mag-lead.
So, let's start na po sa ating icebreaker. And yung ating icebreaker po is riddle or bugtong. And reminder lang po na bawal ito sa madumi ang utak. Next na po. So, yung una po is, unang bugtong ay, minsan letra, madalas mahal mo pa. So, anyone? Sino pong pwede sumagot? You can raise your hand po if you gusto sumagot. Ayun, sige, Mr. Evangelista.
Si X yata yan, X.
Okay, X, tingnan natin. Tama yung sagot na X. Okay, tama, X. Next one tayo. Dilaan muna at lawayan para tumigas at madaling ipasok. Ulitin ko, dilaan muna at lawayan para tumigas at madaling ipasok. Okay, Mr. Verano.
Sinulid.
Sinulid? Okay, tama. X. Painitin mo ako. Kailangan kong pumutok para matikman at ikaw ay masarapan. painitin mo ako, kailangan ko pumutok para matikman at ikaw ay masarapan. Sino pong nauna? Mr. Garcia. Nakasagot na si Mr. Verano eh.
Wala lang, popcorn.
Popcorn. Tingnan natin kung tatama. Okay, popcorn. Tama naman. Okay, next. Matigas nung pumasok, malambot nung lumabas. Matigas nung pumasok, malambot nung lumabas. Another hand po. Another virtual hand. Wala na po ba? Okay, sige, Mr. Clark.
Bubblegum yata.
Bubblegum. Tingnan natin. Okay, bubblegum nga. And for the last one, I think, malaki at maumbok, hinihimas bago pumasok. Ayun, Mr. Nodera.
Try ko ng doorknob.
Doorknob. Tingnan natin. Answer po. Ayan, doorknob. Ayan, tama. So, that's it na po for ating icebreaker. And let's start na po sa ating discussion.
Today, I want to introduce you one of the most important figures in modern Indonesian literature, and he is Subagio Sastrowardoyo. His date of birth is February 1, 1924, and he was born in Madiun East Java, Dutch East Indies, and his date of death is July 18, 1995 at the age of 71. His occupation was a poet, short story writer, essayist, and literary critic. About his nationality, he is an Indonesian Javanese, and for your information, Javanese is an Austronesian ethnic group native to the island of Java in Indonesia. Then, Subagio Sastrowardoyo studied at Gadjah Mada University, Cornell University, and in 1963, he graduated with an MA or yung tinatawag na Master of Arts from Yale University. He was highly educated because Yale University is known for its high academic standards. And about his kind of writing, what made his poetry special was that it was very intellectual and philosophical. This means his poems weren't just about simple feelings, they looked closely at big, serious ideas about life, what it means to human and the world around us, and his writing makes you think deeply. Some of his most important poetry books are Symphony or Symphony in English, and Dan Kemasyan Makin Akrab, or Death Grows More Intimate in English. Because of how much he gave to the world of literature, he won several big awards such as the Anugerah Seni, which is an art award, a major national prize in Indonesia, and the Southeast Asia Write Award, which honors the best writers in Southeast Asia. Let's now focus on one of Subagio Sastrowardoyo's most insightful works, the poem titled The Birth of a Poem. So yung sa date of publish po ng poem na ito ay wala pong naka-state kung kailan po siya pinablish. So this piece is under the poetry genre, and is important because it shows us how the writer thinks about his writings, and it's a very personal look at the creative process. Ibig sabihin, pinapakita niya sa atin kung gaano kahirap o kaseryoso ang pagsusulat or paggawa ng mga writings like poems para sa kanya. Like his other works, the poem tackles his usual big topics such as life, existence, and and what it truly means to create something new. Tulad nga na nabanggit ko kanina, mahilig siya sa mga philosophical ideas. The most important thing in the poem is the symbol he uses. Subagyo doesn't just say writing is difficult. He compares the act of creating a poem to the hard process of giving birth or yung panganganak sa Tagalog. This comparison tells us na ang pagsusulat tulad ng tula ay hindi madali. It is a struggle o pakikibaka na kailangan talaga ng real effort and maybe even fame. But just like a bird, the result is a valuable new creation, and this shows how seriously he took his work. And in short po, this poem says that real poetry does not come from a happy place. It comes from deep personal suffering, and it makes you realize that suffering is a basic part of being human. And for this slide naman po, ito naman po yung poem na sinulat ni Subagyo. So, babasahin ko lang po. Night, the birth of a poem by Subagyo Sastrowardoyo. Night, pregnant with my seed, thrust the 9-month child down to the ground, motherless bastard, bearing the first sin on its brow. Its cry declares my hunger and melancholy, my suffering and my death. Kiss the ground source of your suffering, it is your soul. So, para naman po sa message of a poem, it focuses on the poem's message. Tulad nga sinabi ko kanina, ang main point dyan ay ang pag-create ng art, specifically ng isang tula, ay napakahirap at isang painful job. Subagyo compares creating art to giving birth. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya madalian o easy-peasy. May sakripisyo, effort, at pain talaga bago lumabas yung finished product. In short, lahat ng mga artist, pinaghihirapan talaga nila yung bawat art na ginagawa nila. Pero we all know naman na worth it din yung time and effort na nilalaan nila para sa kanilang mga artworks. Next slide naman po ay key themes or the important ideas. First is the hard work of making art. Basically, it says that artists go through a lot of trouble just to finish their work, and creating art is definitely not an easy job. A second one naman po is art as a living thing. The poem is trying to say that a poem is more than just words, or hindi lang sila basta words. It's like a living being o parang may buhay that the writer needs to help bring to life. And next is the life in art. This means that the writer really puts their own life, their personal feelings, and their experiences into their art. So, yung art ay connected talaga sa identity nila. For the main symbol naman, or yung biggest metaphor ng poem ay childbirth ang main symbol. Kasi raw, ang paggawa ng tula ay parang nag-give ka ng birth, which is mahirap at masakit. Kumbaga, naghihirap ka muna bago mo makita or mayakap yung result na ginawa mo. And for the next slide po ay si Kian.
So, under the cultural and historical significance, this poem is important because it's a part of a new modern way of writing definition. It helped create a fresh voice for the nation that was different from older traditional styles. It treats creating art as a deep, meaningful process which fits with a strong spiritual beliefs in many cultures across the region. It shows that the artist is an important person in society, not just for fun. This idea is common in many Asian cultures where artists help a community share its feelings and struggles. So, ayun, artist is an important person in society. Bakit? Kasi, but like, lahat tayo is important person in a society. Bakit? Kasi lahat naman tayo may sarili-sariling, all this, paninindigan or purpose. May sarili-sarili tayong purpose in society. And just so you know lamang po, lahat po ng tao can be an artist. Why? Kasi lahat tayo may mga pinagdadaanan. Lahat tayo ay may kakayahang simulat ng tula. Kaya natin mag-express ng ating feelings and struggles. Next slide. For the critical analysis, the birth of a poem addresses the value of creativity. Birth's not delightful. It is a lonely, painful, and mortal journey. The poem accomplishes something by rejecting simple comfort. It makes clear that poetry originates from the most fundamental and tough aspects of the human experience. It requires the reader to struggle as well as enjoy. It gives readers who enjoy dark and depressing poetry a lot to think about. It also acts as a reminder that poetry is fundamentally linked with soul, sorrow, and the poet's job is not simply to convey beauty, but also to endure and portray suffering. So, punta naman tayo sa poet, which is yung artist. Sa poet kasi, it is not all about giving joy to the readers, but also giving struggles and for them to feel the suffering. Bakit? Kasi yung poet is meron siyang sarili niya pinagdadaanan, which is na-convey niya or nagagawa niya sa pamamagitan ng tula. And doon niya na-express yung kanyang nararamdaman, which is minsan yung joy, kasiyahan, suffering, and all. Basta lahat ng nararamdaman niya, kayang-kaya niyang express pamamagitan ng tula. Ng poem. Okay. So, reflection or connection to Asean. The poem illustrates that, like ASEAN countries that arose from challenges like struggle, colonization, and warfare, despite this traumatic past, carrying both the wound of the past and the hope for a better future. ASEAN emerges an image of unity, faith, and hope, showing that even from pain and difficulty, unity and growth can emerge and develop in the midst of catastrophe. So dito, kaya ako siya na-reflect. Kaya ito yung nasabi kong reflection niya. Yung poem ends sa ASEAN. Sa poem, yung title nito is The Birth of a Poem, and yung nilalaman is about sa birth of a poem. Yung, which is in Tagalog is yung panganak nga, di ba? So, in the word itself, panganak, ang pinaka-process ng panganak is, siguro naman, kahit tayo mga kalalakihan, yung mga kalalakihan dyan, kahit hindi naman tayo nanganganak, alam naman natin kung gaano ka-painful yung panganak, di ba? Pero, right after panganak, ayun, parang maayos na. Wala nang suffering. Ano suffering na magaganap sa panganak kasi nga, wala na, nalabas na lahat eh. Kumbaga, yun yung future natin. Yun yung future natin na kailangan alagaan. So, despite the traumatic past, there's always a bright future. Okay, next po. For the conclusion, The Birth of a Poem by Subagyos Astrowardoyo portrays the creation of poetry as a torturous, nearly tragic birth rather than an easy act of inspiration. The poem shows that the poet's inner quest, desperation, despair, and even the fear of death is intimately linked to art through the vivid imagery of a motherless infant, sin, and pain. Subagyos shows how poetry is both a statement of identity and an exposure of weakness by connecting the poem to the poet's soul. The poem's ultimate conclusion is that struggle is the source of creation, and that poetry serves to embody suffering rather than to escape it, giving life to the core aspects of human existence. So, that's it for the conclusion. anyone question?
Meron po bang may tanong?
Wala na pong may tanong. Ma'am, ayun na po yung end ng aming discussion.
That's all po. Thank you.
Thank you po for listening.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kian, as well as Miss Cantos. Please do not remove your presentation.
Mag-unmute lang.
Yes, please do not remove. And kindly go back to the slide na piniresent nyo din yung content ng poem. I think sa mga, okay, slide 16 ba yun? Tama ba? Slide 16? Okay, so in that slide, thank you. Kindly give them as well virtual clap or any reactions. So thank you for presenting the birth of a poem. So this time, let's add more information or have some questions for this literary piece. Okay, so eyes on the screen, or yes, eyes on the screen first. So if you listen to the presentation, so later I am going to ask also what lesson or message did you get from this poem. So this time, allow me to give additional information or background. So the reason why I still let them present this slide, kagaya nung ginawa natin kanina, is that I want to highlight that this poem is not about a real baby. Did you also agree? Okay, so I saw Mr. Hedwig nodding. So, why kaya? Bakit kaya it is not about a real baby? Even though, sabi dito, night pregnant, 9-month child. So, ano lang ulit yung hinighlight if you listen also to, so not only these two students who are presenting or who presented to us. So, what is the main highlight or message of this poem? I think both of them, they emphasize that. It is about what? The process of what? Anyone from the class? I have again Mr. Garcia. Other hands first. Before I let him unmute. If you are still with us. So Miss Cantos and Mr. Hedwig emphasize that. So it is about the process of what? Yes, Mr. Briones.
Ma'am, yung birth po ng poem ay hindi po tumutukoy sa yung sa pagbubuntis po ng tunay na tao, kundi po sa parang nabubuo po yung poem dahil po sa matinding sa pinagdadaanan po, sa mga ganun po.
Okay. Or in other words, or in to be exact, so again, hindi siya sa process or hindi siya nagpo-point out sa baby or real baby, even though meron ditong mga terms nga na mention night pregnant and then 9-month. So just like what Mr. Briones said, so it is about the process of creating a poem. Okay? Again, it is about the process of creating a poem. So just like medyo, if you listen dun sa first or sa unang diniscuss natin before this one, the poem, so medyo halos nakakaparehas or na-point out din when it comes to expressing our ideas, our feelings, our emotions through writing. But under this one, so again, here, as a human or as an individual, of course, we experience different kind of pain, struggles, difficulties. So meron tayong mga darkness in our life. Or meron tayong mga heavy and emotional experiences. Okay? Or feelings. So in that way, because of writing, so of course, we let those emotions or nailalabas natin yung mga emotions na meron tayo. Have you also experienced writing poem na kung saan it feels so heavy or very emotional? Have you experienced that? Okay. So maybe most especially those students who are into writing poem, talaga naman na-express nila by using yung mga different kinds of figures of speech. Okay, so hindi yung mga specific words, so highfalutin words. So mas napapakita natin yung mga emotions na meron tayo. So in this slide, so as you can see, for the third line as well, we have motherless bastard. Again, motherless bastard. So what do you think is the meaning of that in the poem? Ano kaya yung meaning ng motherless bastard? Anyone? Motherless bastard. Ano yung pino-point out or sinasabi dito? So, how about you? Let me call, sige, magtawag na lang tayo ng name. Mr. Okay, how about you, Mr. Palikpik? JV.
Para po sa akin, ibig sabihin po nito ay kalungkutan o pagkabigo po.
Kalungkutan or pagkabigo. Again, motherless bastard. Sige, if that is your idea, so thank you for that. So, but here, or in this line, so we have this word, motherless bastard. It means no guidance or comfort. Again, no guidance or comfort. And in the fourth line, we have bearing the first sin. So, meaning to say, or in other words, it carries guilt as well as burden. So, just like what I have said, in our life, meron tayong iba't ibang mga difficulties, meron tayong iba't ibang problems na nai-encounter. Okay? Even though you are a student, a parent, guardian, so etc. So, not only that, so sige, para medyo maging mabilis tayo at makapag-present pa yung last group. So, meron din ditong cry declares my hunger, melancholy. So, when we say melancholy, meaning to say pensive or extreme sadness. Okay? Pensive sadness or extreme sadness. So, sabi din, meron tayong suffering as well as death. And in that way, it expresses, of course, again, the poet's deepest emotions. Yung emotions na meron siya. And sabi din dito in the last line na napasama na lang doon sa kanilang presentation, so kiss the ground source of your suffering, it is your soul. So for this one, this highlighted or this emphasizes the real world. Meaning to say, we need to face those pain or those challenges that we have. Okay? So again, this poem is about the process of writing a poetry. So thank you. So kagaya nga nung sinabi kanina ni Mr. Hedwig, so all of us are artists kasi nga we have different purpose. And lahat tayo is merong mga pinaghihirapan or meron tayong iba't ibang arts. So, thank you again, Mr. Limoyco, as well as Miss Cantos. So, I think we can now move on to the last group who will present this evening. Since we still have 20 minutes. Tama ba? Yes. Yes, Miss Dipasupil, are you the one who will present?
Jasril po. And ang title po ng aming literature is Grandfather's Story. Yan. Bale, ang mag-icebreaker po sa part 1 po ay si Jasril po.
So, icebreaker guys. Magpapahula. Ang nangyari ay magpapagas ako ng animal. At hulaan nyo lang, magpapakita ko ng ng part ng animal, tapos hulaan nyo kung sino. Ay, Yusa yun, gets nyo na. Next slide, guys. Yan, sino yan, boy? Wala! Taas kamay! And Clark.
Unggoy!
Ha?
Unggoy!
Unggoy!
Gary Bill. Ay, hindi. Wala.
Wala.
Wala na ibang sagot. Mali. Wala na ibang sagot. Uy, baka ma-reveal.
Hindi.
Walang mag-iibang sagot? Oh, patong 20.
Ang hirap.
Walang 20. 20 na yan, boy. Wala talaga?
Wala.
Wala kausap mo.
20. Okay, Tomas.
Leon.
Reveal mo na. Wala tayong makakaula niyan.
Randall wala, Randall.
Next. Yan. Next. Sinong hula? O meron na kayong hint kung sino o ano magiging nangyari dyan.
O yan, pre, Clark.
Clark? O wala iba? Okay, Caleb. Heron? Ikaw, Tomas?
Franz.
Reveal.
Uy! Next.
Yan. Wala nyo. Oy, Tomas. Wala ba iba?
Heron.
Walang iba. Heron kay Tomas. Heron.
Si Franz. Si Francis pala.
Francis. Oh. Iba. Iba namang sagot. Isa pa. Bali tatlo.
JM.
Si Andre.
JM.
Okay, reveal na.
Juan.
Ibalo.
The goat, man. The goat.
Yan.
Presentation na, guys. Wala ako. Teka lang, di ba tapos? Who is Catherine Lim? Catherine Lim is one of Singapore's most famous writers. She was born on March 21. Catherine Lim is one of Singapore's most famous writers. She was born on March 21, 1942, and she became well known for writing about everyday life in Singapore, especially in the struggles within families and the influence of traditional Chinese culture. Because of her impact, she's often called the Dayon of Singapore writers. Throughout her career, she has written many works, 9 collections of short stories, 5 novels, 2 poetry books, and even political commentaries. One of her boldest pieces was 1994 commentary that questioned the government, which gained a lot of attention. Her writing helped shape modern Singaporean literature and brought focus to issue cultural identity and social relationship. Next, literacy pieces. Next. The story literacy piece. The story we're stud comes from book Little Ironies, published in 1978. It falls under Asian or Singaporean literature, and it's a type of short fiction. What makes this story interesting is ang ingay ka naman. What makes this story interesting is that it's told as a frame story, meaning there's a story wrapped inside another story. The author narrative sets the mood and leads us into the main events that follow. So about the piece, about the story. Next slide. About the story. The story is told from the point of view
of a grandchild who shares what happened in her grandparents' marriage. The grandmother is described as a strong and determined woman who became successful in business, but she was also feared because of her harsh personality. Meanwhile, the grandfather is portrayed as gentle and dependent, and eventually he finds comfort in another woman because of the emotional distance in his marriage. The relationship is filled with tension, their bitterness, lack of attention, and years of unresolved conflict. When the grandmother dies, the grandfather becomes overwhelmed with grief, and he tells a folk tale that mirrors the pain, betrayal, and consequence found in their own lives. And next slide. Main idea and message. Main idea and message of the story. As its core, grandfather's story shows how a loveless and arranged marriage can grow into lifelong bitterness. It highlights how anger, resentment, and failure to understand each other can gradually destroy a family. The story reminds us that love, empathy, and communication matter for more than status pride, or following tradition. When hatred is allowed to grow, it doesn't just how the couple, it affects everyone around them. Next slide, please. The theme. The story touches on several themes that deepen its message. The first one is family dynamics. It shows the complicated and painful relationships between the grandparents and how it affects the family. Second is tradition and culture. The story reflects Chinese tradition and cultural setting of Singapore. Third is reincarnation. Throughout the folktale, the grandfather tells the idea of karmic consequence and rebirth becomes important. The fourth is personality analysis. The story also explores the characters deeply, and especially the grandmother, a strong, capable woman whose harshness shaped the entire family. Icebreaker ulit.
Yan. So, icebreaker po ulit tayo. Guess the animal po ulit. Next. So, sino po yan?
Kaklase ka ulit yan.
Ewan. Jesselyn, paano na lang ako ha? Yung mag-re-raise hand. Gawa ng hindi ko kita. Yan, mag-raise lang po tayo.
Tapos kamay guys.
Sino kaya yan? Ay. Mali, ano palang animal yan?
Inga Clark.
Si Ron, pre.
Ikaw, Bench. Sa tingin mo, Bench.
Si Heron din.
Sige nga, pakita mo na.
Pakita na. Heron dinay. Next, sino kaya po yan? Maraming paa. Ba naka-ID pa? Sino kaya yan?
Sige, Jem. Cheese. Wala na iba? Sasagot. Ano ikaw ano? Sino yung matawa?
Pogi daw.
Ikaw, Ranbel. Ano sagot mo? Luto ka to si Ranbel. Francis? Okay, Clark, ikaw ulit.
Si Kurt.
Si Kurt? Ikaw, Caleb, sino?
Si Kurt.
Si Kurt? Sige, makita mo na.
Hey, Clark to po.
Sino kaya?
Ayan, guess sa Mobile Legend hero. So, maiba naman po tayo. Dahil mahilig nga po kayo maglaro-laro ng mga Mobile Legends. Sino kaya yan?
Sige, Jem.
Si Francisco, main hero niya.
Meron pa?
Ikaw ga, ano, Caleb?
Si Francis na din.
Sige, pakita mo na.
Yan. Gord Francis. Mahalagang paalala lang po. Ito po ay pawang biruan lamang. At wala pong bullying na nangyayari dahil ganyan lang po sila magmahal ng magkakaibigan. Si Jezreel po ang pakanani, may pakanani to.
Wala, I felt bullied.
So wait, mag-start na po ulit ako. So sa symbol, the durian. The fruit symbolizes a grandmother's extremely volatile nature and the violence associated with her anger, as evidenced by the rumor of her throwing it at a bandmate. So, ang sa story po kasi is ang grandmother ay medyo may anger issue po and sinasaktan po niya yung mga maid niya na binili para palakihin at tumulong sa kanyang business, which is yung tahian, and binabato niya po ng durian yun. The old stone jar. This object represents the financial security and tangible rewards of the farmer and his wife, hard work and savings over many years. So, sa sinabi pa, yung lolo po kasi is nagkaroon siya ng nagkwento siya ng alamat sa kanyang apo na yung magsasaka at saka yung wife niya is nag-ipon ng pera at sa old jar yun. The act of storytelling. Beyond the narrative itself, the very act of the grandfather who had become withdraw, telling stories symbolizes emerge from his suffering, a potential return to connection, and a way to share wisdom or lesson. So yun nga po, yung lolo nga po is nag-storytelling po siya. Yun. Okay. Natural and historical significance of the story. Yeah, the story, erosion of collectivism. The story contrasts with the word traditional Filipino value of pakikisama, showing a family lacking these traits and instead exhibiting individualism and strained relationship. The next po ay patriarchal authority and its consequences. The grandfather is a symbol of male dominance and patriarchal authority within the family is depicted as a figure who prioritizes personal desires over familial responsibilities, demonstrating the potential pitfall of unchecked power within the tradition structure. And the next is wealth and isolation. The story critiques how the pursuit of wealth can lead to emotional detachment and isolation as a family member through rich become disconnected from one another and from traditional community values notes. Critical analysis. Psychological criticism. This approach focuses on the motivation of characters, particularly the grandfather grief and the grandmother hostility, and how this emotion influence their action and relationship. Feminist criticism. The story can be viewed through feminist lens, examining the power dynamic and the gender role within the context of the arranged marriage and the suffering experienced by the woman. So, ang story po kasi natin is yung grandfather at saka yung lola is arranged marriage lang po sila. Then, yung lola is meron nga po siyang anger issue, then hindi sila nagkasundo ng lolo. So, naghiwalay sila at nagkaroon ng ibang asawa yung lolo. Historicism. Another story through historicism could explore how the cultural context of arranged marriage in specific Asian societies influence the characters' lives and choices. Formalism. A formalism analysis would look at the structure, narrative devices, and use of symbolism to understand how these elements contribute to the story meaning and overall effect. Grandfather's story is a ano ba yun? Poignant exploration of a loveless marriage and the lasting emotional burden of regrets and suffering. So, ang sinasabi na kapag kinasal ka, hindi, ang arranged marriage is loveless kasi, yun nga, arranged marriage nga eh. Hindi nyo mahal ang isa't isa, pinakasalan kayo ng magulang nyo. Yun, ganun po yung nangyari sa kanila. Conveyed to a narrative that blurs the line between personal history and mythicality. The story suggests that some forms of suffering are a result of karmic consequences, and that storytelling can serve as a means of processing these past hurts and seeking redemption or release. Why is it relevant today? Grandfather's story are relevant today because they preserve family history, strengthen intergeneration bond, provide valued life lesson and wisdom, and keep cultural tradition alive. These narratives serve as a bridge between past and future generation, offering a deeper understanding of one roots, shared experience, and the historical context that shape the present. Sa ibang sa ibang tradition po meron pa rin po talagang arranged marriage. Ngayon sa atin naman po sa religion naman po natin is wala. So nagre-relevant pa rin po siya today, and yun pong pag naghiwalay ay nakakapag-asawa pa rin po ng iba. So ang conclusion po ay naghanda po ako dito ng short na buod po. Tinagalog ko na po para po maintindihan ng lahat. Ang kwento ay tungkol sa isang apo na naglalarawan sa kanyang malupit na lola. Nakilala sa pang-aabuso sa mga batang katulong na pinakita niya na binili niya para magtrabaho sa negosyo na sa paggagawa ng damit pangkasal. Matagal nang hiwalay ang lola at lolo dahil arranged marriage lang ang kanilang kasal at hindi sila nagkaroon ng pagmamahal sa isa't isa. Ang lolo naman ay nakatira kasama ang isang mabait na babae na tinatawag nilang grand aunt na siyang tunay niyang minamahal. Isang gabi, nagkwento ang lolo ng isang alamat. Ang alamat ay tungkol sa isang magsasaka, magsasaka. Yung magsasaka po is mabait, inosente. Then meron siyang asawa at meron isang sakim na madre. Niloko ng madre yung asawa. Kaya ibinigay nito ang ipon nila, ang asawa nung magsasaka niloko ng madre. So yung inipon ng mag-asawa na magsasaka ay binigay niya sa madre. Nung malaman yun ng magsasaka, sa galit niya sa kanyang asawa niya, napatay niya yung asawa niya. Ngayon, nung nahimasmasa na siya, nagsisi siya. Siyempre, pinatay niya asawa niya. Then, pumunta siya sa madre. Pinatay din niya yung madre. Sa langit, pinarusahan sila ng Diyos. Ang magsasaka at madre ay pinanganak muli bilang mag-asawa upang maging parusa nila sa pagkakasama nila. Ang mabait naman na asawa ay hindi pinarusahan. Pero, magkakasama ulit sila ng magsasaka. Which is, parang ang sinasabi ng lolo doon is na reincarnate sila. Which is na ang lolo, ang magsasaka, yung madre, yung lola, then yung bagong asawa niya is yung dati niyang asawa. So, yun po. Ang tanong ko po sa inyo po, sa tingin niyo po, bakit ikinuwento ng lolo yung alamat? Ano po ang gusto niyang ipahiwatig? Bakit niya kinuwento sa kanyang apo yung alamat na yon? Yung alamat na kinuwento ko po sa inyo. Sino pong gustong sumagot? Tingin nyo, ano pong lesson ang gustong ipahiwatig din ng lolo? Sige po, Caleb po.
Parang para sa akin need na pag-isipan muna isang bagay bago natin ito gawin. Kasi once na gawin natin yung mga bagay na yun, dapat prepared tayo to face the consequences of it.
Okay, thank you po. Sino pa po? Ano na lang pong lesson yung natutunan nyo sa kwento? Total, inano ko naman siya. Yung kinuwento ko naman yung shorts, ginawa kong short siya. Binuod ko siya. Ano ang naging lesson para sa inyo? Anyone po? Bench?
Para sa akin ay pahalagahan at pakinggan yung mga aral ng nakatatanda.
Thank you po. So, yun dun po natatapos ang aming presentation. Ulitin ko po, wala pong bullying pong nangyari sa amin pong icebreaker. Sadyang mapagmahal lang po si Justine na kaibigan. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you, Miss Erich, as well as kay Mr. Jasril Verano. Okay, so since it is already time and I think some of you kindly give them first any reactions here. So for their presentations, you may click heart